just means I could do this for a little longer.
That record you're hearing right there, she goes by the name of She's Face. The joint is called Exposure. It's off her latest project, Paragon. It's Vocalo Radio, Chicago's only NPR music station. I'm your host, Biko, and alongside me, I got my very special guest with me. She's Face, or should I call you Face?
Face is good. Good morning.
Face is in the building. How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy to be here.
I mean, you should be feeling good, feeling great. You hitting the stage tonight, and not only are you hitting the stage, you're headlining Schubas. A lot of names has headlined Schubas. I can give you one. You ready?
Yeah.
Smino.
Oh, wow.
He headlined Schubas for his debut. I think it was Black Jupiter, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, you got some people that headline there. So first and foremost, how you feeling about tonight?
I feel good. I feel like it's going to be a very organic show. Just feeding off of a lot of the energy because a lot of people that I know are coming out, whether it be artists, family, friends, people that inspire me. So I'm excited about it, to experience this with them. I think it's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. I'm thinking about popping out tonight. So,
you better. You better.
And for those who are also interested, it's a 5-finger discount.
Okay.
100% off, okay? Is that Schubas is going down. I mean, let's jump into it because I asked you earlier, I'm like, Face, She's Face. And Face is not new to you. That's a name you actually grew up with.
Yeah.
But for those that may not know the background of how you even got your name, can you break it down for everybody?
Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah. So I had Face is a second half of a family nickname, which, we'll go into that at another time.
Mm-hmm.
But my aunt, my dad's sister, she, for short, started to call me Face. And that's what it became. Just because, when you put me up to your cheek and I was hungry as a baby, like, I would just suck on your cheek,
Oh, sorry. That's cute. But for when it comes to what you like to be called by, do you prefer She's Face? Because on your Apple Music, Spotify, it's She's Face, or do you prefer Face?
I prefer Face. Honestly, when I was registering myself as an artist, I was denied Face. Because I guess they have too many people with that name or something.
Yeah, baby
I'm not
face,
sure,
Ray.
But
face.
now I'm just who is she? She's Face. Type. So
got it. And I thought about that. I'm like, I think it is because of face. There's so many faces out there, and when you put She's Face in front of it, simple. You're the first to pop up. I mean, let's speak a little bit about your family as well, because to my knowledge, your family kind of influenced your career.
Absolutely, definitely. A lot of people in my family, from my siblings, my grandparents, my aunts, my parents, have an ear for music. They were in the band. My parents met in the band. I think that's the little cutest thing. Cause
was it a singing rap band? What kind of band?
No,
was
in
it?
high school.
The
they
band.
were in the band. Yeah, together. My mom played the flute. My dad played the drums, and my dad, as long as we were in any house that my dad lived in, he has a studio. So I've always been I want to make a song. Just heavily influenced by the sounds around me because he's always creating. So,
did they introduce you to any instruments with your mom playing the flute and your dad playing the drums? Did you? Piano, maybe guitar.
I did take piano lessons. I do own a guitar. Do I know how to play either? No, but I'm so interested. So eventually, guitar, that was harder for me to stick to, just because I like to have my nails done, and that's a little bit of a conflict.
Yeah, can't mess them nails up. They ain't cheap.
And then with piano, my fingers aren't the longest, and I heard that's a easy way for people to,
do the piano.
Yeah, but I have an ear, so it's interesting now doing music professionally because I'm learning terms for things that I do understand, but just don't know what to call or how to identify, So that's cool.
What was it like for you as a child stepping into that recording booth for the first time? If you can go back and remember, was it scary? Was it breathtaking?
It was fun.
Okay.
It was fun. And it felt like private, like no one's in there, so I can't be judged. And that's honestly how I make my music.
Mhm.
So this performance is very like welcome to my world, kind of, you know. So
Does it still feel the same way when you step in the booth currently?
absolutely, definitely, because I record, mix, and master myself, so everything is all private.
Oh, so when did you get into? Because you say you record, mix, and master yourself.
Mhm.
That girl, your credits is crazy. That
Okay.
everything, all your royalty money going
You
to
know
you.
what I'm saying?
When did you become like? When did you really get in tune with being more of a do-it-yourself artist instead of going to a studio and getting things done?
Well, my dad he was like, I don't really want to use the word controlling, but for lack of a better word, he did shape um, my creativity. Like I had writers, I would go into other people's studios all around Chicago and have beats picked. Like I would say, I like that or whatever, but it was very much like I'm gonna tell you how to do it, And when COVID hit, well, I went through something that had me just very like I need a emotional release. And I started to write for myself, and that was something that I always wanted to be able to do because other people were creating my thoughts for me. Essentially, is what it felt like. Um, so I started to write for myself, and then when COVID hit and everything shut down, I'm like, well, one, I got to move out of my mom's house because I ain't going to stay here 30 days, and can't go nowhere. So I moved out, and then I went and spent like $1,200 on a Mac, Logic, the interface, mic, and headphones. And that's my studio. Like, so when I moved into my apartment, I set my closet up like a studio, and I did it myself. And I just took my time because there was nothing but time
Yeah, you're right
because of
about that.
COVID. So I figured it out. Shadows is a song I'll be performing tonight. That was the first song that I ever made
Recorded.
on my own, mix and master and everything. So
I cannot wait till tonight. Oh man,
Yeah.
Chicago is Vocalo Radio 91.1 FM. Chicago's only NPR music station. You're currently tuned in to my conversation with Face. We live, and before we get into this music break, Face, in a Q&A last year, you mentioned that you're inspired by the sounds of R&B, rap, and gospel.
mhm.
What do you pick and pull from each of these genres? Like when, you're completing your sound.
Yeah. Well, gospel runs, of course, runs the way that they go on a scale. What else did you say? Rap?
Rap, yep.
Rap.
R&B and rap.
I like the way that stories are told. So some of my favorite rap artists like Kendrick, Cole, and this is such a controversial time to be
I know,
saying these
right?
names, but
I know, right? Is it beef? Is it not beef?
but there's so many rappers that I like the way that they tell stories that really inspires me. R&B, I love harmonies, and also even the way they tell stories. Like India Ivory, I pull from her as a writer so much. The way she switches the person that she's telling the story from or the perspective, like that's amazing. So I pull a lot of the same things from all those different genres, honestly.
Love to hear it. I mean, well, tell us a story. The story behind this joint I got loaded up is called Need This.
Oh, all right. Well, Need This. It's about situationships and how sometimes you're the problem too.
Ooh, y'all don't go nowhere. Keep it locked. Faces in the building is Vocalo Radio. I just took you back, didn't I?
Yeah.
I took you back. I mean, just thinking about going back, what's the first thing that come to mind sound-wise of hearing, your past self and then your current self?
Well, from an engineering perspective, Need This is absolutely one of my most favorite songs that I've mixed and mastered. I'm really, really proud of that one. So that's a great way to feel, I think. But as far as like once I release music, I'm pretty removed from it because I always am like, the release means that I'm past that, and not necessarily even whatever it is that I'm addressing, but maybe the sound that I'm conveying,
Like you literally release.
Yeah,
Got
So
it.
the things that I'm working on now are definitely a different sound. So I don't listen to Paragon that much, but I have been like for the sake of rehearsal.
Okay. So how long has it been since you've been working on Paragon?
About 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, when you think of the word Paragon, what comes to mind?
Diamond, perfect. The epitome of like Paragon to me is very much an expression of like how we're all perfect, because Paragon is not perfect, and like what is perfect, right? So I wanted to use that because, and it's crazy me using it because it started to become its own thing, a paragon of divine timing. It came when it was ready. I uploaded it, and I'm waiting with everybody else like, when is it gonna drop? And it came like 2 days later. So that was crazy. And now, like, just the opportunities that it's creating, it's a paragon of many things, many, many things.
In a way, is that where you were going through when you were putting the project together?
Learning how imperfect everything is was definitely something that I went through along the process. Honestly, 2 years ago, if you asked me, like, what are you doing with music right now? I kept telling people, I'm finishing my EP. And it's like, I wasn't. I was still working on it in the process of. So I learned a lot about what it means for me to be working on something versus finishing touches or I'm done,
Yeah.
So
Solid project.
thank you.
Solid. And I heard you say EP
Yes.
because on Apple and the other on streaming sites in general, it's listed as an album. I mean, when putting together an album, what would you consider to be an album from Face whenever you decide to deliver that?
An album for me, I really want to work with live instruments. I want to have intro, outro, like I want it to feel like a story, but also like you're coming into my world. I have it together, okay, to an extent. So without saying too much, it's mostly an album to me is going to be very easy to tell based on the production.
Now,
if nothing else.
Now let me get back to Paradox, because for you, when you're reflecting on this project that you worked on for 2 years, what comes to mind when you think of like the feelings and the emotions you put into these 7 tracks?
I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling a lot of stories, and I'm being honest about it. And that feels good to me. That's how it feels.
I hear a lot of relationship things going on through your album, your EP as well. I mean, are you in a relationship currently?
No.
How has being in some of these past relationships, formed you to who you are now?
Home. The song Home definitely is very much like how I feel about how relationships have shaped me into how I am now. Just creating that security within yourself and not like falling for the okie doke or, delusion is a dangerous thing. So, and I think it's easy for people who feel very deeply, as artists, all artists are very sensitive. So, I think it's common for me personally to like hope for the best with certain things. And that's not always the case. So I just try to be like realistic without being pessimistic,
I like
so
that.
yeah.
Would you consider that one of the records you reflect on most off this project, or is there another record that you reflect on deeper?
Honestly, whenever I sing Exposure, I feel very like I be feeling that one.
Me too.
Because it's so back and forth with emotions, and that was just so real. It's a back and forth sometimes when you're in the mix of things. Like, but then when you step out, you create that home within yourself. You see things a little clearer. It's less back and forth.
I love Exposure. I ain't gonna play it just yet. I'm gonna cap off the show with that joint. But in a past Q&A, you mentioned an artist you wanted to work with.
Yeah.
By the name of Karali Payne.
Uh-huh.
And you've worked with him. and you all are hitting the stage tonight
Yeah.
together. So how much of a full circle moment is that for you to say who you want to work with and to actually, be in a room and be working with these artists that you've wanted to work with?
So with Karali, he's actually mixed one like a song that I haven't released yet. And he, out of anyone that I've sent that to, came the closest to what I expected of it, or like how I wanted it to sound. Because, sometimes when you create, you hear it in your head 1st. And it's like, okay, how do I make this real? And he was just so close to making that real, like in a way that I'm going to use his mix. You know what I mean? Because it's right there. But we actually haven't got on a record yet together. But hitting the stage with him tonight, that's going to be amazing. Even still, I'm excited about that. I want to see it. So
look, I see y'all working on a record together.
Oh, absolutely.
I see it in your near future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Karali's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all hitting the stage tonight. Let people know again where the show is and how they can, like I was finna say, get tickets.
Look, now don't do too much because it's a 5-finger discount. And you can still get tickets, okay? You need to RSVP. But the show is tonight at Shuba's Tavern. And doors open at 7:30, so don't be late.
No.
I go on a little later, but we have amazing acts. You just heard a song by Ainea. And as we're talking about Karali, both of them are going to be in the building as well.
Yeah,
It's
and I
gonna be
got some
amazing.
Karali loaded up. We coming right back after this joint from Karali. It's called Freeze, and it's Women's History Month, so got to talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
It's Vocalo Radio. You're tuned in to Vocalo Radio 91.1 FM. I'm your host, Biko. The illest coming through your stereo. I still got my homegirl Face in the building with me. And man, y'all can check her out tonight at Shuba's. It's going down. She's going to be hitting the stage. Ainea Jay's going to be hitting the stage. And Karali Payne is going to be hitting the stage. And it's a 5-finger discount for the absolute FREEE, as Glorilla used to say. Now, Face, Women's History Month is in full effect, so it was a pleasure of definitely having you come in during this month. What comes to mind when you even think of Women's History Month?
Well, of course, my ancestors. Even starting with people that are here with me still. My mom, my grandmother, my aunts, women in my community, and what they contribute and how they choose to contribute. I think it's very unique, even in a spiritual sense. Shout out my granny.
So are there? So those are like your prime. Those are like some prime women in your life that's
Absolutely.
influenced and motivated you. Are
Definitely.
there any other, influences that whether it's with the music, whether it is personal, whether it's anything else that
Yeah. Well, starts at home, of course, which is why I listed them. And then musically, there's so many women in music that I am inspired by. Erykah Badu, I think I mentioned India.Arie earlier. Even the younger women, Summer Walker. I love how she expresses like her parenting, as far as what she, displays on the internet. Outside of music and life, or even like actresses, Viola Davis. There's so many people, but I'm deeply inspired overall by all the women that contribute things musically or otherwise in a positive way.
I mean, since we talked a little bit about some of your music inspirations, let's talk about like some women artists you like to work with, whether they're in Chicago, some Chicago artists, or major industry players. Like, who are some women artists you like to link up with and feature with?
There's a lot. Well, I would love a song with Erykah Badu. Like,
I can
what?
see you
That
on a
would
song
be
with Erykah too.
Also, even just in Chicago, Chanel and I have a song, Chanel True. We're working on that. We wrote that together. That was actually my first time writing, quote unquote, for someone. Because she wrote parts of it as well, but just like contributing to that process for somebody. I've never done that before. So that was super fun. And you can expect that this year.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Hopefully I could get it before it drops.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully I can break
you know
it.
you can.
I mean, also within just the R&B scene, not just here in Chicago, but the R&B industry, what are some changes you would love to see come that can help boost more women like yourself into either leadership or into just better roles within the industry?
I think I was actually just talking to, he's an artist in Chicago, but we were talking about plans that he's making to give back to the community. And I think I would love to see that amongst artists in general. I see a lot of it, don't get me wrong, because there are a lot of people in Chicago, mostly rappers though, I'll say, that are giving back to the community. But as women, if we could collectively do that, I think that would be amazing. Like, not only because it's giving back, but it's like bonding, and not like you got to be besties with nobody or nothing, but just a way to show up for the community and be involved and share good energy between each other.
I love hearing how you broke that down, because nobody wants to see it turn into a trend, and it become trendy. So I love how what you're trying to build is something genuine that sticks for generations to come, instead of it just being here one day and gone the next day.
Yeah.
You know, so again, Paradox
Gone.
I don't know why. Look, I'm like Paragon, Paradox. Paragon is out right now.
Yes.
7 records. Let people know what you would like for them to, when they stream this project, what you would like for them to take off of this project.
Choose yourself in the most respectfully selfish way possible, because it's good to share good energy with people and be in love and all those things, but home, I keep bringing attention to that, as well as decisions with KO, because those just speak to nobody's fool. I mean, they just all speak to ways that you should be prioritizing the foundation within yourself so that you make more conscious decisions, and you'll get more out of life doing that. So take that away from Paragon. Be perfect in that way.
Paragon is out right now. You're hitting the stage tonight at Schuber's.
Yep.
I think I'm going to be there.
You better be. I think you are too.
I
think you are too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be there. I mean, 5-finger discount. You can't beat that.
You can't.
Is that a magical spot known as Schuber's? Y'all pop out. When does doors open again?
7:30, and you're not doing anything else. It's Tuesday. Like, be serious.
But they say got the club going up on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
So come on out. It's gonna be a ball. I'm excited to see you hit the stage. I mean,
thank you.
Will you be performing Exposure?
I will be, and I'll have some featured guests as well. Gotta come see.
I got a feeling KO and them gonna pop out. I got a feeling, strong feeling. I mean, let everybody know about this record I'm finna get into, Exposure.
Exposure. It's back and forth a little bit. It's about the emotions that you go through in a situationship, and just it's back and forth. That's the best the best way I could put it. Back and forth.
Give out your social handles as well, so people can keep in tune and reach out to you. Some artists that be tapped in, they may want to collab with you.
Well, on every platform, you can find me at She's Face, SHES Face, like the one on your head. So yeah, tune in. And I look forward to sharing more of my work. Thank you for having me today.
No problem. No problem.
Amazing energy here. So y'all tap in. I love Vocalo Radio.
Hey, you landed in my top 5 for a reason now.
Hey,
for those listening, you can head over to Vocalo.org right now and read more on that top 5 and so many other great articles we got up. Download that Vocalo app. Take us with you around the map. That's VOCALO on your preferred app store. Give us a follow. VOCALO on all your socials. Give me a follow as well at Official Biko. With that being said, I'm signing out. Holla.